AITA for not letting my in-laws continue to be late for everything? NTA. It's one thing if it's a rare occurrence, but their behavior is chronic. Is your spouse on board with this plan? NTA. My stepmom is like this. Late to everything. We adopted our foster son earlier this year and she tried to tell me the judge would wait for her if she was late. I told her we would not wait if they were late, as that is not how court works. NTA. This is an absolutely perfect example of boundary setting. My favorite explanation of boundaries is that a boundary is a simple rule. If you do X, then I will do Y. If you don't show up when you said, then I will leave after 5 minutes. The thing is, you can't control other people's behavior, but you can control your own. So if they do something that's unacceptable to you, let them know how you will respond in the future. And then do it. So not only aren't you an asshole, but you are a textbook example of how to deal with people who keep messing up your life. Good work. NTA. That's inconsiderate AF. I have taken a very similar stance with my parents because my mom has no sense of respect for other people's time. Oh well, they'll just have to wait. Nope. Not me. We celebrated my daughter's 18th birthday an hour away and we were 10 minutes out when my mom texted all excitedly, "We're on our way." I said, "We are parking. See ya when ya get here." We had already gotten our food by the time they were there. Tough shit. Should have left when you were asked. My in-laws are very similar. Often they will tell me a time to expect them. Then at the time they're supposed to be here, or even later, they'll send a text that says they're on their way. They live approximately 55 minutes away in zero traffic. They have disappointed my kids so many times. Eventually I asked my husband to draw some boundaries with his parents about punctuality. It has helped some. He basically told them that if they're going to make a promise to our kids, they need to keep it or they wouldn't be welcome anymore. Then on Halloween they invited themselves over. I told them dinner was at 5 so we could start trick-or-treating around sunset. Dinner was on the table at 5 and I made a bunch of extras so there would be plenty. At 5 they sent me a text that said they were stopped dead in traffic. I checked the traffic apps. There was no traffic. They showed up over 45 minutes late, at which point we had eaten without them. The food wasn't good anymore and most of it wound up wasted. I was so mad, especially because it meant the sun was fully down and we got a late start on trick-or-treating. Which is a big deal because my younger children are very young and need to go to bed earlier and it was cold. So basically I think NTA. But I'd be shocked if they actually change their behavior. AITA for laughing at my coworker who chose to drink their own pee instead of getting fired. Info. What's the pay like? Nah. I mean, you can have empathy and still find it fucking hysterical. At the end of the day he got to keep his job. It's a great story. And he'll probably never forget to buy a bottle of Gatorade again. NTA. That is objectively funny AF. Greater than he got called to the office to be let go. He said it wasn't urine but his tea that he had let get cold. He proved it by drinking it. No empathy necessary here. Laughing was the correct response. NTA. It's really disgusting. And although I think I would have vomited instead of laughed, or maybe vomited and then laughed, I can see the reaction. On another note, I wouldn't have told a living soul that I had done that either. NTA. AITA for telling my daughter, 15, she is not autistic in front of her friends. NTA for telling her that. However, I think that you should maybe take her to an expert and have her checked. That will not just confirm what you are saying but also give your daughter the assurance that her self-diagnosis was wrong, and maybe ease her doubts. Worst comes to worst, if she does turn out to be one, you can then take appropriate steps to deal with it. ETA. To the people who are questioning the usage of a word like deal, it is not meant in a negative manner or to dismiss people who have autism. It is used to describe handling it, supporting or taking care of it. That is it. No controversial or ableist undertones to it. To the people who are questioning the usage of the expression, worst comes to worst. Nowhere in my comment am I dismissing her daughter being on the spectrum or treating it as something horrible or terrible. That was never the intention here. To the people who are autistic, this comment was in no way made to hurt you or treat you like a different species or with malicious intentions. The comment is only made to offer her the advice or a solution to what she is going through. You can nitpick the words or expressions used in this comment or meaning of it to suit your own narrative. However, that doesn't change the fact that this comment was made only to give suggestions to the which she took. To all the people who upvoted this comment, thank you for seeing the real intention behind this comment. Autism doesn't look the same in everyone, especially girls. She most likely isn't, but you could get her checked out for official proof. NTA. Even if your intention is clearly innocent, it can be interpreted as when someone says, "You don't have depression," it feels derogatory of one's experience. I suggest starting an autism and ADHD investigation to see if your daughter really has the diagnosis or is just trying to be relevant. Could be that she is masking. Greater than masking is a strategy used by some autistic people, consciously or unconsciously, to appear non-autistic in order to blend in and be more accepted in society. I would also pay attention to your daughter's behavior with her new group of friends. I am going to take my daughter in for a formal evaluation. I really can't stress enough that she has shown no symptoms of autism her whole life. No discomfort, no social problems, no evidence that she is masking and the mask is slipping. I am very close to my daughter and she has not one time expressed any sort of autistic tendencies. Before she met these friends, she is well adjusted, makes friends very easily, and has never indicated any kind of struggle socially or educationally. It bothers me above all things that her peers are encouraging her to make her life harder for no reason. She isn't showing up for her clubs or planning events or being herself. Yeah, I understand your concerns. I really do. But it was embarrassing, probably mortifying, to be told that in front of her friends. People who pick up on the wrong diagnosis are usually struggling with something. If she's becoming withdrawn and obsessive, that is cause for concern. It would have been much better to take her to one side and calmly ask her what it is that makes her think that she's autistic, and then really listen to her. Tell her that you'd like to take her to see a professional to talk through what's going on in her brain. It may be that she's not autistic, but she's becoming depressed. There's even a chance that she is actually autistic. Many girls hide it extremely well and struggle in silence. I am going to ask one other thing. Please leave those of us with a professional diagnosis out of it. Don't feel like you're standing up for us by making a stand against her. Most of us are very sympathetic when it comes to self-diagnosed people, even if we think they're mistaken. I want you and your daughter to figure out the truth of what is going on. I don't want her to just shut up because she's harming those people who are really autistic. AITA for defending my husband's stair-sitting habits? NTA. The only thing I can conclude from your story is that your mom really does find things to pick at, so that she can obtain compliance and master the situation. So she found a thing to pick at, and she tried, and she failed, and it was a big shock. Very uncomfortable. So she freaked out. It's 100% her fault. I would go forward as if nothing happened and let her bring it up if she must, otherwise just ignore. As if she was a kid who had some strange tantrum and now it's done. NTA, I think you handled it perfectly. And I think this needs to happen more often. Every time she picks at something kicking up a stink, the response should be a calm, "This is how we do things," and let her leave. Don't chase after her. Just carry on enjoying whatever is going on. Then when she comes back, don't make a big deal of it. Like nothing happened. No acknowledgement of her return and definitely no apologies. A narcissist doesn't like not being the center of everything. So if you stop buying into her drama, maybe she'll learn to behave, and if not, you get a few hours of peace while she sulks. NTA. It's super normal for kids of parents who do things like this to feel the need to smooth things over. Anxiety response: fight, flight, freeze. Also fawn. Fawn. Make things better. Resolve the conflict. Manage the parent's emotions. You aren't and never were responsible for the emotions of your parent. Her emotions are 100% hers to feel and to manage. She overreacted. NTA. This was a power play and you just proved you had the bigger unit and wasn't going to back down to it. Her foolishness. Well done. NTA. You're an adult in your own house. You get to decide what's allowed and what isn't. And no one should make you feel uncomfortable in your own home. My mom taught me that establishing boundaries and keeping them is important. Which is why she is no longer allowed to stay in our house after breaking all of the few house rules we set, and overstaying her welcome without asking. It was supposed to be 3 days. But somewhere in her planning it turned into a week. Would have been nice to know. I still love her and we still get along just fine. I'm a counter-sitter myself. And no one is going to tell me I can't sit on the kitchen counter in my own home.